Cinnamon raisin bread is a classic, and yes, it's delicious. Just toast it up, a little bit of butter, but I'm actually gonna make some French toast with it. I've got the usual suspects in this bowl, just some eggs, some milk. I actually used half and half, but you could use regular milk. Let me get this soaked in here a little bit. Getting a little butter melted in my pan. Well saturated cinnamon raisin bread down in my butter. And the cinnamon raisin bread already has a lot of cinnamon flavor in it, so I just put a little cinnamon in there. I'm gonna do a few more slices. This is actually a breakfast I grew up with. The second I thought of cinnamon raisin bread, I was like, oh, my family used to make French toast with that all the time. What makes cinnamon raisin bread any better? Some French toast batter. All right, I'm just gonna let these cook on one side, toast up, make sure that little bit of custard we've put on there cooks through. The beauty of French toast is it works better if you have stale bread. So if you have some cinnamon raisin bread about to go bad, or it's a little stale, past its prime, go ahead and just batter it and then put it in a skillet, make French toast out of it. It's delicious. Perfect way to use up stale bread is to make French toast. It's actually preferred that you're using stale bread instead of fresh bread. Stale bread's gonna soak up a little bit more of that liquid. That hydration's gonna revive it a little bit, and you'll have a much better texture. I love cinnamon raisin bread as French toast because it adds so much more flavor. There's the raisins in there, so you get that texture, the cinnamon flavor, of course. I'm sure there's a little vanilla in that bread. This is some store-bought bread, but go wild, make your own cinnamon raisin bread. It's actually pretty easy. It's like one of the more easy, approachable bread recipes. You just need a loaf pan. Make the dough, add in your cinnamon, your raisins. This is a swirl bread, but I've seen a lot of recipes where you put the dough in your loaf pan and you're good to go. So the swirl is just an extra fancy touch. You can find varieties of cinnamon raisin bread. This is a hollow loaf that I found at the grocery store while I was looking for cinnamon raisin bread. And I saw this, I said, oh, I love hollow bread. And there's a cinnamon raisin variety. I saw cinnamon raisin muffins you can even make if you want an individual portion. So there's a lot of ways to remix your cinnamon raisin bread into different forms. So simply toasted with some butter, of course, is a classic for cinnamon raisin bread, but think about a PB&J on cinnamon raisin bread, especially if you're using like a grape jelly. Raisins are grapes, so that could be a fun twist on a sandwich. If you're into a sweet and savory thing, I may even do like a grilled cheese, maybe with a brie, like a super creamy cheese in there. I've never tried it, but now that I'm thinking about it, might be something to experiment with. Nice and browned up on that side. Might need to even out that browning a little bit. Depending on your pan, I like to move these around just so they're browning up evenly. Oh, that one's nice and even brown. Oh, that one's even more perfect. But French toast could not be simpler. It's all common refrigerator ingredients. The batter is really easy to make. I don't even really measure. I just throw in a couple eggs. I throw in maybe like a cup of milk or so, and then add my spices. Cinnamon, you can get a little wild, some nutmeg in there. I love how adding nutmeg to your French toast batter is wild. Don't get too crazy now. It's just a little nutmeg. I like a gentle heat with French toast. You don't want that butter to burn or brown too quickly. You want to make sure the custard inside sets and all that egg is cooked. So low, gentle heat, low to medium. Oh, see, here we go. Just needed a little rotation. I'm getting some even browning on the side that was a little white. When you're mixing that French toast batter, make sure those eggs are well incorporated. You don't want eggy bits. The point is not to make scrambled eggs. You want a nice batter. So I usually get a whisk and really make sure it's well incorporated. First piece looks great. There's always one troublemaker in the pan. Doesn't want to cook evenly. Doesn't want to do with all the other pretty toasts. It just wants to do its own thing. It's okay, you need to give that one a little time and attention. I'm gonna cut a few slices of this and we're gonna do a variation on French toast that I've been seeing a lot, so I wanted to give it a go. I'm gonna melt some butter in my pan, get that started. I've seen this technique online a lot and I wanted to share it, see if it's something you wanna try at home. If you have a little bit of vanilla ice cream, you can use that as your French toast batter. If you look on the carton, what are the ingredients? We got milk, cream, more milk, sugar, all the things we want in our French toast batter, vanilla, and egg yolks. And once it's melted, once it's not ice cream anymore, it's just those ingredients. So that's one piece. Just gonna coat in the melted ice cream. If you have a little ice cream left, maybe try this. And we're gonna cook this up just like normal French toast. A little wacky, but we're testing things out here. We're trying internet hacks. Challah bread's good to use for French toast because it has a lot of egg in it. No one ever has dusted their French toast on top of making other French toast. But look at that, that's all it needs, some powdered sugar, beautiful. If I was real extra, I'd put a sprig of mint on there, a couple raspberries, but then that's being overboard because this isn't normal French toast. We're just letting the raisins and the cinnamon shine. Breakfast winner right here. This is all you need. A little side of bacon. You could do maple syrup for a little extra sweetness, but that bread already has a great sweetness to it. You can even put a little sugar in your batter. Delicious. I've even sometimes just poured some maple syrup in the French toast batter. It's already in there. It is working, look at this. Nice golden, crispy outside. I could have let this soak up a little bit more of that ice cream. So next batch, that's what I'll do. But this is toasting up really nicely. I'm gonna give this a flip so it can cook evenly. I like a thick cut French toast sometimes, but usually what I do in that case is if you want a thicker French toast, I usually brown it up, toast it up in the pan, put it on a cookie sheet, throw it in the oven, 350 just for a few minutes, just so it can cook through. We'll give it a few more minutes. These two are looking great. These are almost done. Nice and brown. All right, nice and caramelized and browned. Now, the next time you make French toast pancakes and you have a pan like this, go ahead and clear out any of the bits. Make sure it's on low. You don't want a lot of heat here, but I'm just gonna heat up a little syrup, warm it up to pour on top. Doesn't take much. Ooh, and I can smell it. It's like caramelized, hot. Can pour it all over. Nice. Hey, it worked, I love it. Warm your syrup up, pour it over the top. Get some syrup on there. It's still very hot. Go for the challah bread. It has a fluffiness, but it's also kind of dense. I know that's contradictory, but it's kind of what it is. It's very rich, buttery, eggy. That's some good French toast. It's a little bit of raisins and cinnamon in there, so good. Oh, and the ice cream provides a lot of sweetness because ice cream is very sweet. So this is a very decadent, delicious start to your day. Or dessert, that's what I always say. I'm like, French toast is not breakfast, it's a dessert, okay?